What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Taj, and today I'm back with another video. Before we get into this, I'd like y'all to please just smash that like button, leave a comment about what you want to see in another video, suggestion, I'd prefer it, and subscribe if you're new, man. I make NBA videos every day, 2K videos every other day for the most part, and yeah, if you want to see more of one than the other, please leave a comment what you like the most. I'd love to, see what you guys are about. So basically, let's get into this right here. We're going to be talking about probably the most talked about team in the NBA these days. We're so close to the NBA season. I know I say this in like every video, but we are on the edge. I mean, we only have, I think, a little less than 2 weeks, left until the first game, the opening night. I think it's the 25th, so that's 13 days, I believe, from now. I think it's the 12th, right? Yeah, today's the 12th. So let's talk about the Warriors. And when Kevin Durant made his move, his shameful move to the Golden State Warriors, a lot of people thought that the 2016-17 NBA season and maybe many seasons ahead of the 2016-17 NBA season are over, because they're saying, oh, well, the Golden State Warriors are the greatest team ever assembled. They are the most stacked team. They have the most superstars we've ever seen on a team. They are literally the definition of a super team, and that's why they will go on to win the NBA championship next year. Now, something that we enjoy in the NBA a lot is parity. We like to see what happens. We don't like predictability. And in a lot of sports, predictability is a factor. I mean, we know that if the Warriors played the Nets, I mean, we would have a pretty good idea who would win that game, right? Obviously, the Golden State Warriors are a much better built team, so they win that game. But in the playoffs, for example, this year, when the Warriors took on the Thunder, when the Spurs took on the Thunder, we all thought, no way the Thunder win this series. But it turns out, things happen that we might not expect. You can't really predict something like this. And that's why a lot of people hated KD's move to Golden State. Now, I know y'all might be thinking, well, are you going to get to the weaknesses? Golden State's 3 weaknesses. Yes. I don't know if I can say that Golden State is like the title favorite next year. I mean, they've got some great players in their team, but are they great enough to win it all over a LeBron and a Cavs team? I mean, we all know how great LeBron James is. We all know how great this Warriors roster looks, but we've never seen them play in an actual game yet. Yes, preseason we've seen them, but when people go hard, when they run into a bump, I mean, we never know. So let's get to these 3 weaknesses. The first one that I'm going to be talking about is interior defense. Now, if you look at the front court for the Golden State Warriors, it looks like they're going to be starting Kevin Durant at small forward, Draymond Green at power forward, and Zaza Pachulia at center. And this is interesting because you have a bunch of offensive stars on this team. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant highlight the offensive superstar prowess on this team. I mean, these guys, we know they're going to put up major buckets on the offensive end. However, I just find it interesting that they opt for a guy like Zaza Pachulia at center. If this team had some sort of shot blocker, rim protector center, maybe we could say, okay, everyone that plays the Warriors is done. Because, think about it. If you have all those guys out in the perimeter, if all your best players are perimeter players, you still need big men. I mean, big men are a very underrated yet I don't know where I was going with that, but the point is that big men are something that we don't really value enough. Interior defense is very important. Rebounding is very important. And Zaza Pachulia is not a shot blocker whatsoever. He barely gets off the ground. He's more for offense. He can kind of space the floor with a mid-range jump shot and rebound a little bit. But for the most part, he's not doing anything in terms of shot blocking. They don't have Festus Ezeli or Andrew Bogut, 2 guys that were shot blockers. Those guys are gone. And now, if someone gets past Steph Curry to the rim, it's a bucket. I mean, think about it. Who's going to be there to defend? I just think that, if you're playing the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Warriors playing the Thunder, Russell Westbrook gets by Steph Curry, and it's a dunk on Zaza Pachulia. There's no way Zaza Pachulia can stop Russell Westbrook from attacking the rim. Same thing goes for Damian Lillard or John Wall or most point guards in the NBA. Slashing shooting guards as well. These guys can get to the basket. Kyrie Irving. I could really go on. These guys could really dominate a team like this. And this sets up my next point, which is chemistry. If this team starts to struggle, who is going to bring them back up? Their expectations are so damn high that anything might seem like a struggle. Anything might seem like, oh, they're losing games. They're not hitting their expectation. It's like, if you can really lose 10 games in the first, 40 or 30, if they go 20-10, are they exceeding expectations? Because a team like this, their expectations are sky high. You can't win 50 games if you're the Warriors next year. If you're on pace to win 50 games, that's bad, and there's probably going to be some locker room stuff, and you're probably not going to make the NBA Finals despite who's on your team. Because remember, you can have all these guys on paper. You can have a great team on paper, but if you don't win 60, 65, 70 games next season, you're not an elite team. You're not, okay? You can have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant and Draymond Green in your starting lineup and win 50 games, and you will not be an elite team. Those players are just not as good now. If those players can't put together an excellent regular season campaign, obviously if they finish 6th seed, you expect them to go somewhere in the playoffs, but they also just proved to you that they're not even that good. If this team doesn't win 50 games, they're not good. The individual players, they don't play well with each other, and this team is not a team. It's just a bunch of stars shooting around. And that's, like, honestly, and you might be like, okay, well, less than 50 games, you can still be good and win less than 50 games. Yes, but if you're the Warriors and you have that type of roster, there's absolutely no reason for that to happen. You completely underperformed if that's the case. So let's go on to the third thing. We have interior defense. We have chemistry. The chemistry, honestly, it's like, I'm thinking about, like, who takes the last shot and what happens and who's the guy in the locker room. Andre Iguodala's a veteran, so he should know what he's talking about. They have a lot of good voices on that team, but the ball, it kind of connects to my next point, which is usage. The ball has to go around. You have 4 guys who all want the ball in their hands. Draymond Green was kind of like a de facto point guard last year for the Golden State Warriors. Him and Steph Curry did the majority of the ball handling. Now, Kevin Durant is coming in, and he's a guy that, I don't even know if he wants touches. He's going to be so much of a baby that he's just going to be like, oh, I'll just run to the corners and I can just shoot threes all game and not do anything. Okay, fine. KD doesn't want to do anything. He can just shoot threes in the corners. That's going to completely deplete his value. If he's not handling the ball and distributing and getting inside and scoring, if he's just shooting, like, that's not, you want him to do more than that. You want him to handle if he's KD. But then again, KD also has to share the ball with everybody else. There aren't any role players other than Pachulia in that starting lineup. Everyone is a star. That's not good. The ball can't go around enough so that Steph and Klay and Dre and KD can all touch the ball for 10 seconds in a possession. It just can't happen. Not everyone can assist on every play. I just don't get how the ball is going to go around enough. I don't see how that's going to work. Obviously, with a great coach and Steve Kerr, and if these guys get on the same page, they realize they all have to sacrifice offense. Yes, Klay Thompson, you're going to have to sacrifice offense. Then they can obviously make it work. But it's still a concern, and it's still one of their weaknesses. If something's gonna bring them down, that might as well be one of the things. The 3 things that I go over: interior defense, usage, and chemistry. Usage and chemistry kind of go hand in hand, but they're kind of different. Chemistry, I'm saying chemistry because it's not just who has the ball and who doesn't. It's more like when they start losing, if they have a loss streak, is that gonna be enough to really deter them? Because this team isn't supposed to have loss streaks. Everyone's going to be wondering what's up if they go on like a 5-game losing streak. It's just, if they have a perfect season, or damn near perfect season like they had last year, then you won't have to worry about chemistry because they're going to be winning games, so it won't matter. But if they, aren't really up to what they should be, then people are going to worry about it. And there's going to be locker room rumblings. People want the ball more. If they start losing games and Klay isn't getting the ball enough, Klay might say something to the media, and then you have all these guys. Klay is not getting on the same page as Draymond or KD. Like, I don't know. Anything can happen. There's too many stars. And you've seen throughout history that teams with superstars Look at the Lakers. I mean, I'm not saying it's the same team, but like I don't think that 4 or more superstars is a very good look for a team. That's why that's really my theory. I don't talk about this very much, but if you look at the Olympic teams and how narrow their victories have been and how they sometimes haven't come in first, look at the talent on the Olympic teams. If you took an NBA team and put them in the Olympics, they'd probably win it all. But is an NBA team, just any NBA team, as good as the Olympic team? They're way worse, right, in terms of superstar talent and stuff. But the thing with the Olympic team is, you know why they weren't that good? It's because everyone is ball dominant. The only player on that team that didn't want the ball in their hands was DeAndre Jordan. That was the only player that is effective without having the ball in their hands on that team. Like, I know we have guys that can play defense like Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, but like those guys still need the ball in their hands to be effective, to reach their full potential. Everyone is limited. Steph Curry is not going to have the same season he had last year, no matter what. KD is not going to be as effective as he was in terms of doing everything. He's not going to have the ball as much. Klay Thompson is going to get even less assists, less shot attempts. Draymond Green is going to have less assists, of course, because he has to share the ball even more with people, I think. I don't think his assists are going to go up. I don't think he's going to have the ball as much. So that's my video. We kind of got a little off topic, but I just want to talk about why Golden State isn't invincible. Their 3 weaknesses. By me, it's interior defense, usage, and chemistry. That's going to wrap up this video, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please like if you did, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment. What do you want to see? What video do you want me to make about the NBA, about gaming, about anything? It doesn't really matter. I can make whatever video you want. So that's going to be that. This has been Kid Taj. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.